Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thanks so much for joining me to watch this video. Today I want to show you the Sweet Songbirds Bundle. This is in the new annual catalog that just kicked off this week. And I love this. When I saw this in the catalog, I thought this birdie was so cute. So it has a punch that coordinates with it. So if you buy it as a bundle, you save 10%, or you could buy them separately. So I did kind of some punch art with this. I didn't stamp the bird because I wanted to use the glimmer paper. So there's new glimmer paper. So I'll show you how to make this. Let me just show you a little bit of the product. So we have the bird, the Sweet Songbirds, and there's some great sentiments. There's a welcome, so happy you're here. Congratulations, you've got something to celebrate. Or a little bird told me you've got something to celebrate, which is what I did on this one. A little bird told me you've got something to celebrate, and you could do this for graduation, birthday, retirement. You could also say it's your special day. So there's some great things, and then there's two size birds, and the bigger one is what gets punched out with these wings and the belly and the beak. And then you have some music and flower, a branch, and this I guess is just to either put your sentiment over if you wanted to, or maybe have them even stand there. There's two sets of legs, two sets of eyes. So I want to show you that I'm using the In Color Designer Series paper, and this is the new pattern paper. And this paper, these patterns are in all the different families of colors. So like the regals, the subtles, the naturals, and the brights. So they'll all have these patterns, and you can see the different prints. So really cool. So this is the new Tahitian Tide, and then I'm also using the new In Color Glimmer Paper. So this is really pretty. So I used the Tahitian Tide for this and just punched out the bird and then the belly in the lighter color. So we're going to do that with, this time we're going to use the new Sweet Sorbet color. So I have my pieces. I've already cut out my little polka dot one, and I think this is 3 3/4 by 5, and then this one, and I'll have it all, this is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, but I'll have all of this on my blog. So if you go to pspapercrafts.com, you'll have the instructions, you'll have pictures, and the products that you can shop for. So this little birdie, I'm going to do it upside down, and I want to get, I know I'm going to get the beak and the wing and part of this wing. I do want that wing, but I don't really need the beak, but I just found it was easier to just punch it like this and get the pieces. Now, I didn't really use this underbelly, and I've seen people use this part as a wing, so you can have the big wing with the big bird if you wanted to. So that's kind of a piece of garbage, and we have this wing, and then we have the beak, which we don't need. So the beak I'm going to cut again with a piece of pumpkin pie, and I'm just going to just go in that little corner and try to just get a beak. So here's my beak. Okay, and on this one, I did stamp the nest, and I stamped it on crumb cake with soft suede ink. This time I'm just going to have the bird standing on the branch, and I'm going to have open eyes, and I'm going to make him a little bit different. Now, if you wanted him facing the other way, when you're punching something like this, you can just punch it this way, and then when you flip it, it will be, you can punch it. Let me just show you. I did this with the teacups, and it worked out pretty well. So you can punch it here, this way. So then when you flip it, it will be facing the other way, if that was something you wanted. Oh, and we need to do the kind of the belly. So I want the very light color, and I'm going to do it over here so that I can use this whole strip if I want to. So this is really pretty. It's like an ombre paper, but it's glimmer. So I'm going to just get that little bit there, and that will be the belly. Okay, and maybe it would be better if it was a little more white. I think it's okay. And then we want to stamp the eyes. Now I'm going to do the open eyes on this one, and I did stamp them. These are the closed ones. I did stamp them with Stays On ink to make sure they worked well on the glimmer paper. So let's get that done first. I had a hard time figuring out exactly where I wanted the eyes. I tried to kind of line up the belly and just to kind of get an idea. And we'll just put the eyes right here. Looks like he's wearing glasses through this. Okay. And now remember, when you use Stays On ink, you need to clean it with your Stays On cleaner. So we're just going to do this. So let's put him together, or her. We're going to call it a her this time. I always say him with everything I make. I don't know why. And this might be a baby cardinal. We'll see. Although the cardinals, the guys have the pretty deep red, and the girls are that orange color. But I like the female coloring better than the male coloring, to be perfectly honest. Now this, when it fit in here, it just has this little edge that I'm just going to snip off. You can move it up further, but I like it kind of like that. It almost reminds me of a whale until you put on the beak and the wing. So let's get the beak on. Just put a little tiny bit of glue on this. I should be using my take your pick tool or something. Whoop. Let me just get that out and make sure I press it down good. And pick it up. Didn't mean to pick it up. I always have glue on my fingers, so everything sticks to me. There we go. Does that look okay? I think so. So now I'm going to put it on the wing, but I only want it on the fatter part of the wing, because I'm going to have it go off. Okay, and there is a little bit of, I should be using my silicone mat. There's a little kind of oozing out. That's okay, we'll take care of that. So let's get our layer here. And I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper. So I want to do the branch. So I want to just kind of figure out where I want my little birdie. And then we'll do the branch and we'll do legs. And then at the sentiment, I'm going to do a little note of thanks. And I'm going to put some little music notes there. So let's do the little note of thanks first. And I'll do that in black ink, but I'm going to use my black memento. You can do the Stays On again if you don't have black memento. So let's just do this right here. A little note of thanks. And then I want to do the branch. And I'm doing that in soft suede. And I think I'm going to add some flowers this time. So we'll just ink this up, and I'll have him standing, or her standing. So I want to go down a little bit. Okay, and let's do some leaves. So the leaves I'm doing in Parakeet Party, another new In Color. And it's nice because it comes in one whole set of leaves. Let's just see. So you can just line them up. And now I'm going to get my head in here. Let me move it down a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. It's hard to see off the side here. Okay. And then let's do some sweet sorbet flowers. So there's these little tiny flowers. They're very cute. And we're just going to put one here. Oh no. Okay, phew. Let me make sure I go all the way down. Aren't they cute? And we'll just put them around. I think they're fun. I think that's good. We're getting there. And then we want to do, I think I'm going to put the feet down first. And there are 2 sets of feet. So on the inside, I have this one. I feel like it's walking. On the outside, I'm going to do the one just standing on the branch. So you really have to kind of look at them. I think that's the walking one. And I'll do this in the pumpkin pie ink. Just want to kind of get an idea how it's going to look. Okay, I think that's good. So we'll just put it right on the branch. Okay, it's coming together. And then before I put this down, because I'm going to pop it up, I'm going to put my card pieces together and then I'll pop that up. So let me just get some of my liquid glue. And I think this polka dot pattern, I love this pattern too, the plaid, but I just think the polka dot pattern goes so well with this cute little bird. It's kind of bright and cheerful. Okay, and let's put this down, and then we'll get the little birdie down. All right, get it nice and centered. And let's put the bird down with some dimensionals. And actually, I'm trying to think if I want to do the notes. I think I'll do the notes before I put him down. Her down. Got it. I should have done this before sorry, I have a little coughing fit here. Before I adhered this, because I'm going to go off the paper, I think. So let's do it like this, just in case we go off the paper. Okay. It would be nice to have another one. Well, I think that's good enough. I was going to say I could probably put one more up here. Let's do that. So I'm going to clean this. I'm kind of just making it as we go. So I'm going to clean this, and then I want to make sure it's nice and clean. And let's get a piece of Post-it tape. I don't have my new masking tape in yet, so I'm going to just cover this just like this, so I only get the one note, and then we'll take this off and we'll just do a note up here. There we go. Okay, so I got my 3 notes in, and let's move this away, and now let's put our little bird down before I lose him or something. So let's get some dimensionals, and I think I want to put a little one on the tail. So I'm just going to cut here and put this right on the tail. Make sure it's not showing through, and then we can take off the backs. And then we'll just do the inside, and I just want to show you how to do the inside. With something that's so solid, you want to maybe use your Stamparatus so that you get good solid coverage. Isn't that cute? A little note of thanks. I'm not going to put a sentiment on the inside, but I am going to do an inside layer. So on the inside, I did the little bird, and we're going to do the same thing. And I have him actually in here because I'm going to use the Stamparatus. So I just pull him up, and let me get my Stamparatus. push all of this stuff out of the way, get everything out of the way here. And I want to put this bird right like this. I want to have enough room for his feet and his tail. And again, I'm not going to put a sentiment because it's a thank you note, and I want to put my own little note in. So now we're just going to close this up. I have this in place where I want it. We'll close this up and pick it up. And sometimes it will pick because it doesn't have ink. Sometimes it's a little sticky. I'm going to put this underneath it, and then we'll ink it up with the Sweet Sorbet. And we can do it multiple times if we want to make sure we have good coverage. Sometimes it will work the first time, but I find sometimes with these solid images, I can see right there, it didn't get that. So now we can just ink it up again and close it again. Okay, so that's just a way to get a nice solid image. So now we're done with this. Let me take this off and put this aside, and I'll just clean this with my chamois, or however you clean your stamps, with a wipe or the spray, however you do it. Now I'm going to leave that out because I might do some flowers up top. I want to do the other feet. So these are the dancing feet or the walking feet, and I'll use some pumpkin pie, and I also want to get the beak. Now the beak was a little bit, just have to take your time to line it up because you're really going inside. And excuse my head, but you want to get it right inside that. It really showed up good with the blue. And then we'll do these little feet walking along. Oh, and we have to do eyes. So these we can do with the black memento. And where are the eyes? Here's the eyes. See, they're stained. I have to clean them. And this was, I had a hard time with the eyes because they look funny on the stamped. There we go. So he's just walking along, and let's do some music with him. He's doing some whistling there. I could see it. Okay, and maybe we won't do flowers. I was going to do some flowers up there, but I think this is good enough. And we'll just put this on the inside of the card, close up all our goodies, our ink pads, and I'll put it on the inside with my seal, stamp and seal. And this is a top folding card, and I just think it's so cute. Oop. I love this little birdie. I see the birds are starting to come around again. They must be coming up from the south to go up north. And I've seen a lot of cardinals, and we have bluebirds. So I have cardinals and bluebirds out my window, and they're just so pretty. I love them. So these are the two cards. I love this set. Let me know if you have any questions on it, but go to pspapercrafts.com and you can see, you know, pictures of these and all the instructions and everything. And then the other thing I just want to mention is we have this fantastic deal going on right now if you buy the starter kit, which means you're joining as a demonstrator, but that doesn't mean you have to sell and do videos and classes. You just have to, you know, buy your what you want, and you get the discount. So normally you get $125 product worth of product, whatever you choose that's current, for $99. But on top of that, they're giving you In Color, the ink pads. They're giving you the In Color pattern paper. I'm trying to think of what else it is. You're getting a pack of cardstock. It's the cardstock that's, you're not getting individual packs, but it's a full pack with 4 or 5 of each of the new In Colors. I'll have this all on my blog as well. And then you're getting some In Color grid paper. And the grid paper is what I use to do my projects on. This is it, right? So you have this big piece. You'll get a pack of this, and it's the In Colors. So it's a special, like, limited edition one, I would say. So if you're interested, please reach out to me, leave me a comment, email me, Patty at pspapercrafts. And I would be happy to have you join my team. We're called the PS Paper Crew, and we're in some other Facebook groups. We have a lot of fun. We share, we do prize patrol. There's a lot of training if you wanted to do this as a business, but most of the people do this just to get the discount. So, and also the first order that you do your starter kit is free shipping. So you can order some heavy things like punches. All right. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next week. Bye.